Welcome to the One Chance Coaching Podcast. My name's Claire and I'm going to be chatting to you today. Please be aware that this is just my advice from me to you. I am not a doctor, though I do have a life coaching qualification as a level 3 diploma, and I'm working on my nutrition and health diploma as well. Good morning. How are you? Happy Monday to you, and I am here in your ears again to this week to talk about foodstuffs and your mental health around weight loss and weight loss maintenance and all sort of things to do with that stuff. You know this, you listen to me anyway, so I'm hoping that you're already fully aware of this. If this is your first time, there are other ones to go back. This is quite a new podcast, but I'm enjoying doing it. I'm finding it very cathartic for me because I am right there with you guys. If you don't know anything about me, and this is the first time you're listening, I have been everything in my life from a size 26. I'm currently standing at around a 12 to 14. I'm almost at the end of my weight loss journey and looking forward to jumping into the maintenance phase, fully educated this time. Every time I've done it before, I've got to the maintenance phase and have absolutely tanked because I didn't know what I was doing. I hadn't learned enough about it. I'd learned nothing about nutrition. I'd learned nothing about exercise. I'd learned nothing about any of it. I would work out at the gym to lose weight, to burn calories, to do, and I knew nothing. So hopefully, if you're with me now, that will give you an opportunity to learn alongside me. And my coaching aims are that with a bit of luck, I would like to be absolutely done and dusted before Christmas, just as a sort of interim goal for me that I want to be at that point, and then I'm going to smash the new year with my maintenance program. So that's where I'm at. I've currently lost about 114 pounds from my heaviest to my lightest. That has been a 20-year process. I haven't done that in a year. That has been 20 years plus of battling with my weight, probably 30 plus years of battling with my weight, but 20 of really trying to get it fixed, which has not worked until now. And that is because I'm putting the graft in and doing the work. So I want to talk this week about food demonisation. And I'm hoping that you're going to know what the hell I'm talking about. Why do we demonise food? Why is food labelled into two different camps? Good food and bad food. And I want to know why the hell we do this to ourselves, because it's a really interesting thing, and it is something that is so inherently instilled in all of us. So that's bad for you. Do you remember? You probably don't, because I'm old and you may not be. But in the 1980s, around mid-1980s, there was an advert that used to be on TV for cream cakes, okay? I don't know what it was advertising. The dairy industry, I assume. But there was an advert for cream cakes. Hello, put my teeth in. Cream cakes. And the slogan was naughty but nice. Now, I want to have a look at the word naughty, right? Nice, I understand. It tastes nice, okay? But why is it naughty? And I did a little TikTok about this the other day, and very brief. I was like, let's define naughty. Naughty means badly behaved, doesn't it? Something that's naughty is a puppy that's pooped on the living room carpet, or a child that's drawn all over the windows with Sudocrem, or has used your walls as an installation artwork for, they found a box of Sharpies, or a child that's chucking a tantrum. Naughty. Okay, how is food naughty? Let's try and just analyse that for a minute. Why is it naughty? So we've filled up our food camps into good foods and bad foods. There are phrases that are just so, like I say, they're so inherently within us because it's been our whole life, particularly anyone that is probably my age with the Gen X thing. And different generations are going to have different issues. I found that the most of the baby boomer generation I talk to have a sort of slight thing about thinness and somebody's value and worth being put to a thinness. And now that might stem from someone like Twiggy. The Gen Xers are all about the, Kate Moss, super skinny thing. Oh, and don't even get me started on, I'm going to do one on TV shows, but Super Size, Super Skinny, the most dangerous TV show ever. But yeah, we were all about, that 90s, what do they call it? Heroin chic sort of thing. That was horrendous. And now the latest thing is that the kids of the Gen Z, millennials were probably at the beginning of the don't go near carbs, don't go near carbs, carbs are the devil. And the Gen Z lot are just absolutely bombarded with misinformation on TikTok from people that will demonize everything. There's this guy, I don't know what his name is, Eddie something, and he goes on and he's just basically slates absolutely every single food that you could possibly buy. It's just like, no, don't eat that. This is shit. This is crap. This is fucking awful. And he's just like, oh my God, what do you want us to eat? Do you want us to just live on a diet of vegetables, but maybe we shouldn't steam them. I don't know. Is that wrong as well? And I want to get away from the good food, bad food. Okay. So then you've got, so things like chocolate, pastries, crisp, butter, don't eat that. And the term fattening, it's fattening. That thing's fattening. What the hell does fattening mean? It means it's high in calories. That doesn't mean it's bad. Okay. And like I say, the baby boomers, they seem to be very much in the camp of fat makes you fat. If you eat fat, it's going to make you fat. Well, that's not true. That's been categorically not proved, not disproven. The avoidance of carbs and whole food groups, in my opinion, is bonkers, particularly as part of your fat loss journey. So if you're trying to lose fat and you're cutting out carbs, then fine, okay, but carbs hold on to a lot of water. For every gram of carbohydrate you eat, you're going to retain 3 to 4 grams of water alongside that, which is why if you have a carb-heavy day, the next day you get on the scales, your weight will have gone up. And that's not because you've suddenly gained a pound of fat overnight, because as we know, a pound of fat equates to 3,500 calories. Okay, so unless you've gone over by 3,500 calories on the regular, not just once, not one occasion, then it's not that. Okay, so people that cut out carbs are cutting out huge amounts of water retention. Eventually you do lose weight, you do lose fat as well, because you're cutting out a whole food group. And because of that, you end up in a calorie deficit, whether you like it or not. Okay, 55% of your diet should be carbs. That's where you're getting the mainstay of your energy from. Okay, sugar became the next demonized thing. Don't have anything with sugar in it. We are not addicted to sugar. If we were addicted to sugar, we would literally sit at home eating sugar out of a bag. And we wouldn't do that because it's gross. Okay, we're not addicted to sugar. We're addicted to the delicious things that you can make with sugar, like cakes, like stewed fruit with lots of sugar in it, sweet, like jams, like all the things that sugar is added to. So, it's not an addiction. I don't think we're addicted to sugar. We get a taste for the things that the sugar is in. Okay, so again, the sugar in itself is not really the issue. It's how much of it is hidden in other things. But really, calories are the biggest part of, if you're trying to lose weight, that is the biggest bit. The latest thing I've seen is people telling people not to eat fruit. Don't eat fruit because that's got loads of carbs in it. It's got loads of sugar in it. It's like, well, for God's sake, what is it you do want us to eat? And this is where I get really cross, because it's just this healthy versus unhealthy, good versus bad, and that is what leads to disordered eating. That's what, when I was on Slimming World, led me to the point where I was so bad. I need to do an entire podcast on how bad my eating was around Slimming World, because I thought it was really healthy at the time, but Jesus Christ, did I eat some crap. And did I miss out on so much because of the sins? Now, I did an experiment on my TikTok this week where I said, I'm going to start eating some higher calorie food that I would have considered to be bad, food that I would have considered to be naughty. Yeah, that shoe bun that took a dump on the carpet. Naughty shoe bun. Just the more you say it out loud, the more ridiculous it seems. And I had a sugar ring donut this week. And I had a beautiful shoe bun this week, and I have had a curry this week, and this is stuff I have on the mainstay anyway, and I have lost 36 pounds in 4 months on Team RH. So these are the things that I'm having all the time. I make sure that I'm having these things all the time because I am not prepared to cut them out forever. Go back to, do not cut out entire things on your fat loss journey that you are not prepared to cut out forever, because at some point you're going to then have to reintroduce them, and you haven't lived and you haven't learned how to live with those things in your life. So I'm making sure that now, on the lead up to Christmas, I am making sure that there are things in the house like chocolates, where normally I would go knee deep into a box of Quality Street and then go out and buy the pouches and refill them so no one knew how many I'd had during the day. That is not happening this time. I'm having those things in the house all the time, and that way I can learn how to be around them. I can learn how to have two. We have movie night, family movie night on a Sunday night in our house, and last night I had 2 celebrations and a small bag of flumps out of a sweetie box, and it was like 100 calories for the lot, you know. Actually, no, that wasn't. I had 1 celebration and a bag of flumps. The bag of flumps was 50 calories. I think the celebration was something like 29. No biggie, but what I have to do is learn, and what we all have to do is learn how to have the odd one. And I track everything on MyFitnessPal. I tracked them. I had enough calories for them. I ate them. I enjoyed them. Nothing bad happened. I had the shoe bun. It was in my calories for the day. Nothing bad happened. In fact, the next day I dropped a pound. And the day that I had the pink ring donut, the next day I had dropped some weight. It's nonsense. There's no good. There's no bad. There's nutritious, highly nutritious food, and there's less nutritious food. There are low-calorie, high-volume foods like salad, like lots of leafy green vegetables, like the things that fill up your plate, what Slimming World would call speed foods. And then there are things that are very small, that don't fill you up, that don't satiate you, that are very high in calories, like dairy milk chocolate. Should you give up dairy milk chocolate if you enjoy it? No. I always remind me of the episode of Friends where Will, as in Brad Pitt, comes in and he brings Monica a pie at Thanksgiving, and he was like, oh, it's no sugar, it's no carbs, it's no fat, it's no good, throw it out. And I completely agree. I once read a book that by Alan Carr, not, Alan Carr, the American Alan Carr, E-N. And I read his book on how to give up smoking, and I never smoked again. So I thought, in my infinite wisdom, that I would try the one on how to get thin, how to not overeat. And it was all about, the entire thing was about giving up junk food. And he said, by the time you finish this book, you're never going to want junk food again. And I'm not really sure, but he was basically qualifying all the things that we have that are high calorie, low nutrient as junk food. And it was like, oh, you're going to make a commitment to never have those things again. And I knew as I was reading it that was never going to happen. It was never going to happen. I'm not going to sit there and say, for the rest of my life, I will never have a McDonald's again. Or if I enjoy it. Or I'm never going to have a chocolate bar again. Or I'm never going to eat bread again. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. This book claimed that by the end of it, I would never need it or want it again. It didn't work. And I knew even I was reading it, it wouldn't work. And why would I want it to? A life with no junk food. Well, firstly define it. But, are you never going to have a burger? You're never going to go out for burgers with your friends or your family. No chocolate, no sugar, no carbs, nothing processed. Go and live in the woods and be a squirrel. If that's what, I just can't make it work. So Team RH follows the 80-20 rule. So 80% nutrient-dense food, 20% crap. Allow yourself the 20%, and then you won't feel like you're being deprived of the 20%. So if you think about it, you have 21 meals a week, okay? If one of those is junk, and I'm using air quotes if you're watching me on the YouTube podcast, air quotes, if one of them is junk, that doesn't negate or undo the other 20 meals, does it, during that week? Suddenly, not all of those have been cast aside. And that was my biggest downfall, was always saying to myself, well, I've ruined that meal, so, well, there you go. If I knew I was going out for a meal, I would eat crap all day because I knew that meal that I was going out for was going to be burgers and chips. Yeah. And because of that, I had already figured in my head that I'd already ruined the day. So why not? Why not have a Mars bar with a hot chocolate for breakfast? Why not have 4 pieces of bread and toast with peanut butter, which equates to so heavily spread that it was like 1/4 to half of a jar of damn peanut butter. So if I had just had the one meal, it wouldn't have been any big deal. If I'd have followed the calorie deficit for the other 20 meals during that week, 100% I still would have been in a calorie deficit for the overall week, probably still would have lost weight. But no, I went down the all or nothing route, and that is what gets you into trouble, the all or nothing approach, okay? It doesn't work that way. So if you go 80-20, 80% of your meals out of your 21 equates to 16 meals of your week being really, really nutrient dense and really, really good, okay? And 5 meals could be junk. if you were following that rule to the letter. I don't go that far. I would say almost all of my meals are nutrient dense, and that's down to choice at the end of the day. But does that mean that when I get to the maintenance phase, I'm not going to have the occasional McDonald's? No. Does it mean that during the weight loss phase, I haven't had the occasional, air quotes, treat? No, it doesn't. It means that I'm having those things on the regular. And I think if you can figure out how to have those things regularly in your diet, I apologise about the coughing. If you can figure out how to have those things regularly in your diet and not have it affect you and not have it let you spiral, then I think that can only be a good thing. And you might need to introduce those things incredibly carefully. If you are somebody that spirals with food, if somebody, and believe me, I do understand, because 100% that was me. If I had a taste of chocolate, that would be it. Game over. I would then want more and more and more. And now I do a thing called food pairing, whereby if I really want some Cadbury's Dairy Milk, I will have the Cadbury's Dairy Milk. I will have a small bar, the little bars, or a Freddo, which are about 100 calories. But I will then double those calories by having a great big hunk of fruit with it. So maybe some strawberries and 100 grams of high protein Greek yogurt. I particularly like the vanilla one from Lidl. It is very good. I'm not a yogurt fan, but that yellow tub Lidl one, high protein Greek yogurt, is absolutely amazing. And you can have loads for a really small amount of calories. So I'll have the chocolate bar, I'll have the yogurt, I'll have some strawberries, maybe a drizzle of honey and a little bit of strawberry sauce or something like that on the top. Suddenly, you've not just got one chocolate bar, you've got a whole dessert that makes you feel satisfied, that makes you feel like you've had a real treat. Yeah? Again, treat in air quotes. I think this is like a thing that we use for dogs, and I still love the phrase, don't reward yourself with food, you're not a dog. Okay? I think that genuinely, if you follow the 80-20 rule, you're on a winner. If you are on, I don't know, just look at your calories and figure it out from that. But if you're on 2,000 calories a day and you're allowing yourself 20% of that calorie intake to be what you would consider a bad food or a junk food or some crap, that's still quite a lot of calories, isn't it? You're talking about 300 odd calories. I haven't done the maths here. But if you did it that way, you can figure out the percentages and the calories quite easily. But you'd still have quite a lot of calories left for your really high nutrient dense food. Okay, we need to get away from demonising food. Demonising food is a one-way street to sad town. I swear to God, follow the 80-20 rule. You'll find the weight loss journey much easier, and you will find the maintenance journey much, 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 much easier, because you haven't got to start reintroducing. Keep them there through your weight loss journey. And if you do that, I swear it will be easier at the other end. I cannot wait to start the maintenance phase. I can't wait to learn about reverse dieting. I can't wait to tell you all about it when I get there. And it hopefully won't be too much longer now. But I feel like I'm on this journey with you guys. And I really, really hope that this is of some help to you. But please, let's get away from demonising foods, because nothing good can come from it. You've got to live your life. You've got to accept that good shit is going to happen in your life and bad shit is going to happen in your life. And I actually did a very small TikTok about this very thing this morning, is that we all have this, let's use it as an excuse to sack off the day. Let's say we've ruined this. Let's say that, I've got too much going on in my life. I'm too busy. I'm too tired. I can't do that. And because of that, I'm going to overeat. Well, believe me, I nearly lost my life due to my size, because I had undiagnosed illnesses linked to my obesity at the time. And at 24 years old, I nearly died. And I can tell you that overeating is not going to make those problems go away. My problems were huge when I was that age. Personal problems. They were a real problem. And being fat, being obese, being unhealthy did not improve any of those problems. So be accountable and look after yourself. And remember, you can eat anything you want, you just can't eat everything you want. That is my all-time favourite fat loss phrase. Have a wonderful day. No good food, no bad food, just food. Feel free to come follow me on TikTok. You can reach me there at Claire's Team RH Journey. I hope to see you soon.